The tiering of cats is a difficult matter. It isn't just one of your holiday games. Yet the question remains, which cat is best? Join me as we uncover for the first time the Tashirojima Island cat tier list. But first, a bit of context. Tashirojima is an island in Miyagi Prefecture in northern Japan. It isn't very large. In fact, it's slightly smaller than New York's Central Park. Hey, I'm swimming here. But in recent years, the island has become rather famous for its many stray cats. However, until now, science has yet to produce an accurate tier list. I arrived by boat. No, not that boat. This boat. And it wouldn't be long before I had my first feline encounter. This is Tashirojima Cat Code 35. Daisy Kipper, the sleepiest cat. Let's see the key cat stats. Reposed, 10 out of 10. Blissfulness, 10 out of 10. Snore score, ZZ out of ZZ. Clearly with stats like this, I have no difficulty in making Daisy Kipper our first entry into the S tier. Next I encountered this distinguished monsieur, Gustave Flaubert. Let's see the key stats. Artistic temperament, 10 out of 10. Je ne sais pas, 10 out of 10. Pro style, 10 out of 10. With skills like these, there's no doubt, S tier. Next I encountered Mrs. Pawson and the young Master Donk. Donk's still too young to have his own cat stats yet, so let's focus on the good Mrs. Pawson. Key cat stats. Mother's intuition, 10 out of 10. Holding it all togetherness, 10 out of 10. Strictness, 10 out of 10. Easy S tier for Mrs. Pawson and the young Master Donk. Easy choice. Next I encountered Mrs. Pawson's neighbour, salty old sea cat, Captain Catamaran, ready for another voyage in his fishing crate. Key stats. Seaworthiness, 10 out of 10. Willingness to get wet, 0 out of 10. Cat of their jib, 10 out of 10. Really, with such a nautical cat, it's gotta be S tier. Next I encountered a remarkably large and still cat, Catnelius obelisk. Weight, 10 out of 10. Oblongitude, 10 out of 10. Electricity resistance, 10 out of 10. An unusual contender, but still definitely S tier. The density of cats fell as I got further from the harbour. I found myself on a street lined with derelict houses, and it reminded me that Tashirojima wasn't always famous for stray cats. In the 1950s, the island had a human population of 1,000, mostly fishermen and their families. These days, there aren't so many fish in the waters of North Japan, and what fish they do catch is trawled up in great big ships, not little boats from the 50s. House by house, the island emptied, except for the cats and the handful of families who feed them. It's a sad story, but unfortunately not an uncommon one. There are abandoned islands and towns all over Japan. The difference here is that the internet has made Tashirojima a tourist attraction. And why not? Even without the cats, there's something beautifully sad about these abandoned houses. In fact, considering its melancholy, reminder of human transience, and carpentry, this abandoned house is definitely S tier. Just then I saw Tashiro's most dangerous cat, Nyan Foratu. Slowly I approached. This is about as close as I think it's safe to get. I'm not going to get any closer, just take a look. Key stats. Viciousness, 10 out of 10. Claw sharpness, 10 out of 10. Misunderstoodness, 10 out of 10? He may have a lot of personality, but I'd still put him in S tier. I've seen many cats, but little did I expect I would soon see the rarest cat of all. Shrine cat, heavenly aspect. Key stats.
なぜここに来たのですか? 君の訪問者よ、私の島を楽しんでください。でも、自然はどこにでもあることを忘れないでほしい。一つの島だけではない。
I understand. He seems pretty wise. I'd say S tier. Last but not least, this is Gordon. He's a cat. I like cats. S tier.